Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is DWTT. I got my man, everybody with me. You guys might have to deal with some technical problems on my side, but anyways, we're gonna see how this goes. I've got Sam on the top right. How you doing, Mr. Sam G?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
And we got Mr. Tom right below him. How you doing, Mr. Tom?
Burnley didn't win.
Oh, okay. I knew you were happy for something, but I didn't think it was for Arsenal. But we'll get into that later. And last but not least, we've
Did
got
Arsenal play?
the four horsemen. We got Spencer in the house from the floor, where he deserves to be, because that's where he stays. He lives on the floor. He sleeps
Did
on the
you call
floor.
him the floor horseman?
The floor
I said
horseman.
the four horsemen. Is that all right? Can I say that?
I thought you said the floor horseman because he's
No,
on the
no, the
floor.
floor
I was thinking
horsemen.
that's really clever. I was thinking that's really clever for you. That's astonishingly genius.
I mean, I'm just trying to get to Tom's level. That's what I'm doing. We're doing well.
All right. So Arsenal didn't bring a striker in the window. They didn't bring a striker in the summer, but they brought. I guess they did bring a striker in the summer. We just didn't know it yet. Until 20 minutes left in the match, Arsenal has found at least somebody who symbolizes what a striker should look like in an Arsenal system. But yeah, 70 minutes of like, can somebody help in Weary, please? To like, and Moreno going, I got it, coach. So
What a surprise, eh? I mean, what a huge surprise that was. When he came on as striker, I thought, yeah, okay, at least you're trying something. Because it's just not working what we're seeing up front. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, let's see how this goes. But him doing what he did, I just didn't see that coming. Coming on, getting a brace, and he looked really good as well while he was doing it. You know, it wasn't like fluky goals or, deflections or something like that. I mean, his movement was brilliant. His header was great. His movement was great for that second goal at the far post. He found space. He slotted it in nicely. I was really impressed with what Mourinho was doing up front. And I remember saying way back when we got Mourinho, I remember saying, and I saw him in his first couple of games, I remember saying his movement is so good. He's always in space in the box. When he comes into the box, he's always in space. And he's also very good on his head. That's one of his strengths. He's a good header of the ball. And I remember thinking, he should be getting a lot more goals because coming into the box like he does, getting space, he should be scoring some goals. I remember, saying that. And today, him coming on and just really, really impressing like that. Yeah, I thought that was great. I mean, great for him, great for us. You got to give Arteta some credit for doing that. It was a gamble to do that, to bring on Mourinho, who's more of an 8 or a, central midfielder, to bring him on up front. I think that was a gamble and it paid off. You've got to give Arteta credit for that. Because we're in a terrible situation at the moment. Like you said, January window, not bringing anyone in. All the injuries just keep piling up. We're in a terrible, terrible situation. It must be really hard on the team, confidence-wise and everything. And to be able to pull together like this in the second half and win that game with Mourinho coming on and turning into a striker like a Chris Wood. He looked a bit like a Chris Wood today. I was like, wow, what's going on? Maybe that galvanizes us. Maybe it's that, call it a fluke or whatever you want to call it today, of him actually doing that. Maybe that galvanizes us. There he is, Chris Wood in a Leeds shirt.
Yeah, I was just going to say hello to Big Gunner who joins us. Welcome
maybe
to the
that
show,
galvanizes us. Maybe this is what we need going forward now, because we need everything we get. Right? We need absolutely everything we can get as it is at the moment. And it's solid.
I guess the internet.
Really, really solid win. Seems like a win.
Yep. We'll say hi to Big Gunner. He said the doors were locked. He's about to wet his pants, but I think the door's open hopefully soon enough, and he's doing all right. So yeah. Brentford's already up a goal.
Just before you go back to all your Arsenal nonsense, can I just start with a little bit of Tom nonsense and just affirm my respect for Luton Town? I've always respected Luton Town as a football club and institution. And obviously that is in no way coincidental with the fact that they are currently playing Sheffield United. So
Luton Town, the mighty Hatters.
If they get a point, you're gonna be like, thank you very much, sir. All right.
More than that, considering they're bottom of the Premier League, the Championship, not the Premier. They wish they were bottom of the Premier League, bottom of the Championship. I will go and buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah. So I not to look forward, but Brentford is up 1-0 on West Ham. So
yes,
and West Ham is home.
Chris
so.
must be devastated.
Mm-hmm.
Does Chris really support West Ham? Because I remember, for the first year or so that I knew him, he was only ever talking about Liverpool.
He's a Liverpool fan, but because apparently I don't know, I don't know whether he lives close to West Ham or whatever it is, but he goes to West Ham games for some reason because they're cheap or whatever, and he goes there. And we all basically started having a go at him, calling him a West Ham fan.
Fair enough.
He's a closet West Ham fan. That's what I think.
So I want to congratulate Burnley on their 11th clean sheet in a row, which is a record in the Championship. Congratulations, and thank you for making most of them clean sheets 0-0 draws. Thank you. That's very handy for me.
Cool. Yeah.
What's going on with Burnley? Do they just park the bus? Is that what they do? Just park the bus and hope for a goal? Is that the way they play?
Yeah. They did it twice.
Yeah.
I hate early kickoffs.
The funny thing about them getting all those clean sheets is because that Burnley Leeds match was genuine dross. It's one of the worst football matches I've ever actually watched. It's tactically fascinating if you fucking love defending. But which Spencer, I imagine, is a stats man and loves his defense. You'd have loved it. But for anyone that actually likes to enjoy football, it was. I heard they show that match now to the prisoners at Guantanamo Bay, for example.
That's what I said.
But they give them choices. You can have the death penalty, or you can watch this match, and not too many want to watch that match.
Halfway through that match, they're like, "Can I make a change? Bring on the injection!
Bring on the electrocution, the waterboarding, please. Anything but this game."
Between my method of being murdered. Anyway,
please electrocute my balls, please. I want to electrocute.
Oh my gosh! You got a header from Fulham. They're up 1-0. Jimenez with a nice header.
All kinds of secrets are being given up at Guantanamo Bay when they started showing that game.
And the muscle-bound wrestler is the one that gives them the assists. Oh, did they not count? Sorry, I'm just looking at. I have 5 games on.
How many?
There's 5.
5 games. Jesus.
I set that up for you.
Yeah, well, Peacock is let me see 4, and then USA is let me see 1. So there you go.
My initial thought was actually 5. 5. Wait a minute. I'm watching other 2 games, then you get 7. 7 games. 7.
I guess that goal didn't count for some reason. So there you go.
But that actually was what I was going to randomly lead into. It's because that game was genuine dross. Yeah, there was a point of me bringing up that 0-0 draw. I think it says more about them than it did about us, because then we went and scored that amount of goals, 7, while they continue to score nothing. They need to go fuck themselves. And the fact that they managed to beat Southampton says a lot about both.
Yeah, Bournemouth just scored, so there you go, folks. Southampton is if they were it's Southampton home to Bournemouth down 1-0 already.
I picked up a shitload of upset pick points last time because I picked Wolves to beat Chelsea. But Southampton are not going to do me a favour.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to keep picking them until
say hello to Anthony. Thanks for joining us.
They're not going to get less points than Derby. Derby lost 4-0 last night as well.
So you're having fun, Mr. Tom, right?
I'm starting to wonder when it's
What's
all basically it's all going to lead into
what's the
Leeds getting
magic
turned over on Monday night.
what's the magic number for you in terms of point difference to where you go? I think we might have a chance here.
Well, for argument's sake, because I've already got it loaded up, we'll call it 7. 7. 7. So Greenwood's face is a
You
picture.
fucking ruined the number 7 for me now. I used to like the number 7.
You know what? 7 is my favorite number, and I'm trying to. You know what, Sam? You know what you do? Just ignore him. Just ignore him because he's just he'll get under your skin. You know that. Just ignore whatever Mr. Tom says, and then you'll be all right. Oh no, I do like you, Mr. Tom. I do like you, but I don't care for anything
honestly,
you have
you
to say.
Fucking slag.
I'm gonna fucking ruin all your shit. No, sorry. What?
You know what? If you said something else, I would have been like, "Are you feeling all right?" Oh, we got another goal. Guess who scores? Guess who scored for Fulham? Sam, Spencer.
Adame.
Guess who scored for Fulham?
Is it
Spencer?
ESR? Is it ESR?
Yeah, ESR.
Yeah, because I think Reece Nelson's injured, isn't he? I think.
Well, ESR found a way to stay healthy all year, so you know.
You know what? They played him into form, right? They let him play into form. He wasn't starting every game.
He has been dog shit all season. ESR has been dog shit all season, but now he gets a goal. Just watch all the League Gunner mob, all the League Gunner fucking fluffers.
Oh, Bournemouth is up 2-0 already. Ay.
They're going to come out and say, "Oh, ESR, what a great player. Oh, yeah, why did we let him go?" Just wait. They're fucking predictable, that lot.
Wow. That's that's Adama Traore with his second cross for a goal today. Only one counted so far, but wow, that was a very nice header from ESR on the far post. Goalkeeper beat.
Big up Anthony. I want to ask Anthony if he's got El Crusty Soccer already. It's later on tonight, and it's on the watch along you're doing.
100%. Herbert, you did answer. Sorry, didn't mean to say that as if like you was a naughty little schoolboy. Actually, we'll go with that. Herbert, you fucker. At the end of the show, we went, "What are we watching on Saturday? What watch along?" The one that I was talking about for the last 3 hours on the show. Sorry, I wasn't. I'm exaggerating, of course. But Herbert, we're back tonight. 10:30 UK time, which I believe makes it 5:30 in the Eastern time zone. He did call me Willow. That seems to, and Spencer's adopted it as well for some reason. Because I don't know if you all know this, but Spencer is regularly committing hate crimes in my WhatsApp.
I have never called you Willow.
No, but you do send me.
You just said Spencer and hate, and I know that's wrong. You take that back.
Hate crimes. Total
take
hate
that.
crimes.
Take that back. Look. Okay, tell me this. Well, is a man that you associate with hate? Does he have Snoopy behind his head as his backdrop?
Even
there's no such
like
thing,
Snoopy, Gary.
Huh?
Even evil people like Snoopy.
You know what? You probably giggle when they take the football away from Charlie Brown, right? Is that you giggling when they take the ball away from Charlie Brown?
Yep, that's Tom. I sent one short.
Let me have my ball, damn it.
One short person to me, and now all of a sudden Tom thinks I'm committing hate crimes.
Yeah.
Hate crimes.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like City has scored. Mamouche has scored, everybody. That means that it's all over. That's actually kind of good and bad. I don't know who I want to win in that one. City home to Newcastle. What do we actually want in that game? A draw, or do we actually want
both of them to draw points?
Newcastle's a weird kind of team, right?
Just because you and Spencer sit around in a circle in your hate crime conspiracy, don't try and bring Sam into it.
Yeah.
Bring me into your hate crime circle.
You know what? 3-5, 3-3 maybe. I mean, you're giving that guy an extra couple of inches there. Let's just be right here.
An extra couple of inches can mean a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And
That it can.
Mamouche with his first goal as a City player, 50 mil well spent, I guess. He cooked a steak on Valentine's Day for him and his El Krusty Socko.
Oh, he's taking good care of his El Krusty Socko. That's for sure.
What is he? What do you do with the extra LRG for your steak? Is that like?
He gets
I'm
that.
just asking.
He gets that from the El Krusty Socko.
Oh no! Oh no!
So now you get it.
That's just nasty.
That's nasty.
That's just nasty. Hey, raise your hands. I don't know if you raise your hands if you classify as a what?
Bikini. I don't know what that is, to be honest. Tom, do you know what a bikini is?
It's probably another hate crime because you've all become hateful people.
It must be a hate crime. That's what it is.
The comedy always evolves in the Tomiverse. But you can never stay away from certain classics.
Yeah. BX kind of saying, what a goal. I think he's talking about Moreno with his brace today, right?
Yeah, why aren't we talking more about that? I mean, I talked about him, and then you guys didn't say anything.
No, I just
Mr. Tom threw the monkey wrench in like he always does and goes, I want to take us off the rails here for a bit, and then we lost our way once again.
And I'll do it again. But more importantly, basically...
See, he's already started. I don't want to hear what you have to say.
I'm going to commentate the Arsenal game in the way that Gary was on, because I was listening. I was a viewer. Ryan, if you're there, I was a viewer of the Mr. Arsenal podcast. I put it on the big telly while I was actually doing stuff. Anyway, Gary sat there for 70 minutes going, this is terrible. Why aren't we scoring? Why aren't we scoring? This is awful. They're terrible. This is crap. He didn't say sack the manager, admittedly. Like that would be a lie, and I don't tell lies and I don't exaggerate. That's a lie. I was lying when I said I don't exaggerate because I massively exaggerate for my amusement. Anyway, but Gary was sat there going, they were all sat there going, what is he doing? What is he doing, mate? Oh my god! Oh, it's terrible. We're terrible. And then it was basically you won 2-0.
Are you done?
Probably not.
Are you done? All right.
That's exactly what happened, though. That is what happened, though.
Yeah, and Murray played a very, very, very good game. He was all left alone now up top, and we saw what happened when he actually got some support in the front line. And Arsenal did finish off the game defensively. We're always going to be strong. We were strong again today. Did make a mistake, Partey, but other than that, we were done pretty well.
I just want to say sorry, Spence. I just want to quickly say while you was talking about the defence, that cross that came in from the left, I can't remember the Leicester player. Thomas Partey lost the ball in midfield. We was breaking. Thomas Partey had a terrible pass on the right, gave it to their left winger. He runs up on their counter attack and he puts in this. He's open and he puts in that cross towards the far post. And the way Lewis Skelly got his foot to that ball and just poked it out ahead of their player, that was amazing the way he did that. That Lewis Skelly is just blowing my mind how good he is. Yeah.
No, that was I didn't mention it, but yeah, you're right.
I think the real question here, Gary, is you gonna rewatch that game?
Say it again.
You're gonna watch that again?
I can. I don't know if I will have time to, but I can.
I wouldn't. I was sitting on my phone and I'm like, I might just do some online shopping here instead. It was so. What you talk about?
Well, no. For me, it's in Wary that I can look at again because I just feel like when the ball came. You know how when the ball goes to Saka, we're all like comfortable and calm because we know nothing bad's about to happen, right? But every time in Wary got the ball, every time, 1, 2, 3 players, it didn't matter. Ball, everything just slowed down, right? He's going to make a really good play on the ball, and I like that. That's what we need. We need it on the left. Maybe we have an answer now. But Nweri showed me something good there. I could watch that again.
You guys think that Nweri looks better now than Saka did at his age? Yeah. Or am I overreacting?
I agree, Sterling. I think Nweri is ahead of Saka in his development.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I'll give Nweri the pass because he's playing on a better team than Saka did, but at the same time, he looks just a little bit more confident on the ball. But Saka was also left back and moved around a lot, whereas
No, he's more for me. He's more looking to score right now. I don't know if he's going to ever change into somebody like Saka who's looking to cross. But for me, like what we need is a player with that kind of aggressiveness on the ball. Where you know what, you're gonna have to worry that he's not putting that ball. Like he showed today, he can put the ball on a dime, right? But he's also looking to shoot as well, man. He hit he hit the post, and then he almost hit. I think he hit the crossbar as well in the game.
Cross. Yeah, it's a great cross to the Marino goal. I mean, he just puts that exactly where the ball needs to go.
Yeah. I mean, my thing, and I made a joke in the group chat because everybody was trashing Moreno. Now he scores 2 goals for me, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's great," and it's like he's only been here what, I don't know, like a season and like a half a season.
But you know, it's not that though, Spencer. Like we didn't bring him in. We didn't bring him in to have to wait 6 months for him to kind of contribute, right?
But you're glad he's here.
Basis.
But you're glad he's here now, aren't you?
Oh yes, because you know what? Everybody said in the air he's supposed to be a dynamite player, right? Air duel is supposed to be really good, right? I don't think we saw enough of that.
I still think it's a lesson in overreacting. I'm going to be honest with you.
We didn't bring him in not to contribute. You know what I mean? We talk about passengers all the time.
Well, let's give him a pass here on one thing. He broke his shoulder earlier in the season when he first trained, so we didn't see him for 3 months, and then he came back about October time frame. So we've only seen him really play for us for 4 months. I'm just saying. I'm not sitting there and saying guys are completely wrong on this, but how about we just breathe a little bit when a new transfer comes in instead of just like, oh, I saw him once, he sucks.
You know what? You say that, but then we bring Rice in, and guess what? What do we expect out of Rice immediately?
He's a $100 million player.
No, but but he came it don't for me. It's not necessarily always about the cost as well. Like he brought in a 65 mil Havertz, and Arteta expected to get something out of him immediately. All right. Right, yeah, you bring in a Raya for 25. You expected something immediately from him, right?
But I agree with BX's comment. Great, he scored twice, but it's a band-aid. He's right, because what's going to happen is next week he's going to miss a shot, and everybody's going to slag him off.
Well, you know what? I said this at the end
of
the game. I'm just saying, can he start for us and play 70 minutes and contribute similar? And put pressure on a back line like he did in that last 20 minutes.
He looks like a guy that we're going to put out there for the last 30 minutes of a game. And I don't think that's a bad thing either.
Not right now. We need, maybe when is Martinelli back? That's going to be the question, right?
Yeah. About a month, I think. I think he's out for about a month.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll start a game for us. I'm not saying he shouldn't, but I'm just saying breathe, everybody. That's all I'm saying.
If we're playing like the teams that we have to play in the Champions League, can he start for us in any of those games? Like, I don't think we're not playing Juventus. We're playing like a PSG, Feyenoord, and a couple other teams that I don't believe give us that big of an issue if we don't have a true striker up top and we do have Moreno there.
If your play is slinging crosses, yes.
You know what? Spencer brings up a very good point there, because this is something we've been frustrated with all seasons. We keep putting crosses into the box without someone who can head the ball, right? Without that presence in the box who can head the ball. And for me, Marino is that presence who can head the ball, because he's good at getting away from defenders, finding that space, and he's good at heading the ball. So, Spencer brings up an interesting point there, because this could really suit our style, because Waneri and Ødegaard, they whip in those crosses very accurately, and we haven't had someone there to head the ball. So now with Marino, this could potentially be, it could be a little bit of a game changer for us. I know I'm probably, fucking being a bit too overly optimistic here, but the way I saw him head that ball and move today, I was thinking, wow, this is something we've really been missing with the way we play. And we cross in that ball really well, and no one's heading the ball. So now with Marino there, maybe this is something that can change a bit for us, and actually, this can actually be really good for us.
That little lofted ball from Ødegaard earlier in the game to Trossard, if that's Moreno, I believe he gets on the end of that ball, and maybe he does something with it a little bit better than Trossard, who barely could get to that ball. Definitely presence in the mid in against the back line. He's got it.
He's strong as well. Marino is a strong guy. I mean, he can move his weight around a bit as well. The only thing with Marino for me, he's a bit slow. He's not really fast, but if you're up front and you're going to put your weight around in the box, get into space and head the ball, you don't need to be fast. And that's also the way we play, because we're not really a counter-attacking team, like a fast, direct counter-attacking team where we'll put the ball into space and run onto it. We like to build up play a lot more. So that also suits Marino up front, as, we like to build up play more than play it into space. So, yeah, I mean, I would love to see Marino actually start a game and see what he looks like because it's, when you come on as a substitute the last 20 minutes or so, it's always very different because, you're coming into a game that's changed a bit. The defenders are more tired. It's a different game dynamic. But if he can start a game and actually, show that he can do a job from the start, that's going to be the key for me, because that would be really, really, really interesting if he can do that. That might just change the season a bit for us, and we might all of a sudden, out of nowhere, have the type of striker we need. Maybe, just possibly, that could happen.
True.
So,
say hi to Alex. Alex, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Alex. So, and I think about this too on this one, because, I mean, let's not forget Moreno scored a goal for us in the Liverpool game off a set piece. I think it was off his head. It may have been off his foot.
He has scored with his head this season for sure.
Yeah, so like he has that ability, and it's kind of like, if you think about the physical body of it, so you have to change the tactic of the 9, right? With Arteta, they run this kind of like this false 9 system where all this hold up play and everything. So now if you put Moreno in there, do you expect him to do some of that false 9 play? Maybe, but for 70 minutes, I don't think you can do that. So the reality is he has to become almost like this target man where you sling stuff in. And I think it still works. I still think you can do your wing play and your build up play and everything and just change the way you play in the system in the middle. And you still have an option to sling across, and there's a guy that can put his head on it. I mean, we saw Rice also early in the game taking some of those headers too and some of those runs. So, Sam, like 100%, like if you're the style of play is set pieces and are slinging crosses, and we don't have much teeth in the middle and you don't have your speedsters on the wings, because Sterling's, he's doing. Look, man, you don't have to use him. I don't rate him right now, but you're gonna have to use him because he's a body, he's a pulse. He's gonna have to give you 60 minutes. It's just the reality of the situation.
He's just someone. This is someone.
It's something. I guess you could throw Tierney up there if you want to. I'm all for everything right now. And I think I was excited about the game today because I wanted to see what he come up with. I wanted to see if there's going to be a youth player that was going to say, "Hey, this is my opportunity. Y'all don't need to go buy a 90 million pound striker. I'm your striker."
You know what? I was just going to say onto that, Spencer. You raised some good, valid points there. I was going to say when Marino's coming on instead of Butler Adeji. Yeah. I'm thinking, first of all, what is Butler Adeji thinking, right? I know he's a youngster. He's not really expecting probably to play that much. But when you're bringing on Marino ahead of you, right, it's like, how good is this kid? Is he actually any good? If he's not getting a chance and Marino's coming on instead, it's like, okay, maybe this kid is not so good. But I'm really happy Arteta took the gamble of going with Marino instead of Butler Adeji. I think he recognized the fact that Marino is a strong kid. Not kid, sorry, he's quite old. A strong guy. Good on his head. He thought, let's give it a try, and he has played up front. I think in his youth career, I think he was up front quite a lot. Then he went into midfield when he got older, and when he turned pro, he's in midfield. So it's like, okay, let's give him a chance, because right now, Sterling, Trossard, they're just fucking useless, right? So let's see what we can do, and I'm so glad he did that. But Butler Adeji, you got to think, what's he thinking, right?
I think he's 22 in an Arsenal system where we're looking at 14-year-olds ready to come in right now. That right there shows you where we are. Like nobody's like Arsenal supposedly is trying to get overturn some of the rules to bring in a Matt Dolman, according to what we're hearing out there. So if they're doing that, Butler definitely is just, as we've seen this before, right? These got academy players that have no chance of playing. Arteta will do anything else but play them, all right?
Well, he's trying to get another academy player, though.
Butler's one of those players, right? So at 22 years old, he shouldn't be on our bench like that, right? Not if he's anywhere near quality that we need, right? 22 years old. If he's not there,
he's there because you got to think that he's there because out of the attacking players we have that are young, he is. You would think he is probably the best option we have at the moment out of the young players that are attacking players, right? That's why he's there. But then I'm thinking at some point with all our injuries, the situation we're in, at some point he's got to come on, at least get 10 minutes. At some point, 5 minutes, just see, bring him on, see what he can do. But the fact that he's not even getting that in a situation like we were in today, and he's bringing on Marino ahead of him. And I'm 100% happy that happened. I mean, I am fantastically happy that he brought Marino. And I think that's credit to Arteta for recognizing that tactical recognition there. I'm really pleased with that. But thinking from the point of view of, okay, you've got this young attacker on the bench, and if that's the best we've got, then that's not good enough, is it? Really, when it comes to attacking players coming through.
Well, we knew this going into the season, right? Going into the season that we just don't have the right level of support in our attacking squad, right? Not enough. We're one or two players behind what we need to be competitive. Is showing up. Got 3-0 City's up. 3-0 Mamouche with a hat trick in 35 minutes.
Mamouche is really banging it in now today, isn't he?
Yeah.
So can I say this though? I still think you see Butler Adeji on the field. I still don't think the story's written for him. But if you're going to talk about price tag and you're going to talk about wages, then Moreno should be thrown on over Butler Adeji. He should.
I just 5 minutes ago I just told you didn't bring Moreno in not to influence a game. Okay, and now you just said the same thing. What dude? Listen to me. I do have a little bit of semblance of content at work.
We know you do. We know you do, Gary. But greatness repeats greatness.
So is that what it is? Is that how it works? Sam never repeats me. Is there something that's
very
to be said about that?
That's very slick, Spencer.
Is he trying to kiss some?
Well, I just operate in a lot of bullshit in most of my life, Gary. So
he's rubbing off? Whatever Mr. Tom's got, you got some of it too.
How the hell did I?
Because you're right. Because you know what? That's what you get it. You get that. That's what you get.
I sit at a negotiating table for my life, so sometimes I have to.
You get it, you like it, and you ask for more.
He's got a rope in Tom. He's got a rope in Tom somehow. You got a rope in Tom.
Yes.
I've sat here for the last 7
years. You just been smiling at me, and maybe I don't like your smile. That's what it is. You just sitting there smiling at me, and I'm like, dude, you need to get some of this.
Gary, would you like some sausage? Gary, would you like some sausages?
How it works, man.
Wood a score from it looks like a very nice strike there. Everybody's screaming in the crowd. Wood scores. It's 1-1 at Fulham right now at Craven Cottage. I'm starting to remember names of places now, so that's good. Well, right? It's Craven Cottage. I got that right. Yeah.
So can I think about it from this? I want to really because I listened to the commentary. It's like, well, there's 5 defenders, 2 midfielders, and 1 attacking player on the bench. And it's like, well, cool. Then why are we still running 3 up top? And I mean that in a serious.
Arteta has a plan A, and it doesn't really matter whether he has a team that can support it.
Well, he came with a plan B today, but still, from a formational standpoint,
didn't change anything.
Right, and I'm saying this from a common sense standpoint. If I've got less of something and more of another, I'm going to make my moves to balance things out. I mean, we're going to sit here. This is going to be a roller coaster of the next 13 games in whatever Champions League. I'm letting y'all know, like, we're going to go through a vast array of emotions. We're going to be like high, low. Yeah. It's going to be all over the place. Just be prepared for it. Yeah. It's going to happen because we were at 80 minutes and it's like nothing's happening. It's like the stick figure with the meme. Come on, do something.
Say we draw. We end up getting like Juventus in the last 16, right? Juventus, or even like I think Juventus is probably the best team. I think we can draw. I think basically Juventus may be one of the. But say we get Juventus right, and we absolutely, it'll be typical. We'll fucking pump Juventus like 5-0 on aggregate, right, over 2 games, right, home and away. We'll fucking pump them, and then we'll fucking go and lose at home to like fucking, whoever. I don't know. I can't remember who we were playing around that time, but you know what I mean. We'll pump Juventus, and then the next game we'll lose at home, and we won't score a goal.
I think,
and you'll be the worst team in the world.
Yeah. Listen, I think from a brand perspective, and I'm talking about attractiveness and everything. I think Arsenal need to do. The league matters, but don't get me wrong when I say this. You need to push in that Champions League and go as far as you can in there.
See,
I
say it all the time. Whenever you play a game, you need to be playing to win that game, however you can, whatever you got to do. The reason why I say that is because we don't do that. It seems like we're always looking ahead to the next one. Like, no, we play like the same way that many of us are going to say they wasted a January window when they had an opportunity to do something. I feel like every game you play, like we're not going to win every game the same way. So you have to adjust, all right? Arteta won't adjust enough to get like today, everything's not working. Our front three not working together, right?
Yeah.
Something has to change.
If
that was the back line, he would have subbed at halftime, right? If the way our front line played, if that was any of our players on the back line playing like Sterling today, he would have subbed him out, maybe even before halftime. He would have definitely subbed him out at halftime.
It's different though, Gary. Attacking players are very different to defensive players, right? Because with attacking, if someone in defense is playing really bad, you're going to start letting in goals, which you don't want to do. Whereas you can sort of take more chances in attack, where it's like, okay, if we're not scoring goals, okay, that's not quite as serious as letting goals in. I get your point exactly. I understand exactly what you're saying. But I just think it's very much down to attacking players versus defensive players. It's very different. So you're going to be much more critical of your defensive players compared to your attacking players.
Yeah,
I think that's just the way it is. But I just want to follow on by saying I agree. This is something we need to, in terms of Arteta. One of the criticisms I have of Arteta is his lack of. I mean, he's good at like adapting during a game to you'll make little tweaks in what the way we're playing, little tweaks here and there that have quite a good effect. But in terms of what Spencer brought up, which is a good point, in terms of our formation and the way we set out to play, we need to have one or two different variations that we can set out differently based on how our squad is, who we're playing, right? I think we need to have that there, and we don't. Arteta has this formation, this system, and this is the way it is, and he just plays that, and that's what we're all familiar with. All the players are really familiar with it, and then he'll make little tweaks here and there. But yeah, I agree with Spencer. If we had a different formation, like we only have, like for example, just go 4-4-2, like we're just two up front, or maybe a 4-5-1 with only one guy up front, like we used to do a lot with Wenger. Have those kinds of differences there, ready to go, prepared, tactically ready, to go.
Yep.
That would probably help us a lot in situations that we're in lately. So yeah, that is definitely one criticism of Arteta. He has this system, he has his tactic, and that is the way he wants it to be. And he wants familiarity. He wants everyone to know what they're doing blindfolded. And in a lot of aspects, that's really good. But then when you get into a situation like we are now with injuries, people not playing well, you can't switch it up, right? So you're playing a system that's not working, right? That's the problem. You can't switch up that system.
Yeah. The learning that Arteta got when he first came in, when he became Arsenal manager, and he looked at his back line and he said, you know what, I'm going to go with a back three because I don't have who I want. For me, shows that look, he will do it if he doesn't have the players that he feels can get a job done a certain way. And for me, he put the players in a good position to succeed, right?
Well, because he came in. That's the squad he came into. So he did the best he could with what he had at the time. And then since then, in the next 5 years, he has built the squad he wanted. Right? He built that he knew the system he wanted. We all knew it was going to be like a 4-3-3 hybrid thing. And he started building those pieces and changing it. And then we got into that 4-3-3, and that's the way it's been for like the last 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that he has adapted to that, but he should have and you're right. I mean, we are agreeing here. We're just saying it in different ways, and that is that he should have that different system ready to go when we're in a situation like we're in now.
Yeah. Looks like Ipswich has a red card, so they're down a man at Aston Villa right now. So this thing might be gone soon for them.
Second booking.
Second booking. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Two things here. So first of all, I'm going to say this about Trossard and Sterling. I watch them play at times, and as good as Trossard is, there's days when he's off, he's just playing for fouls. And Sterling's playing for fouls. That's all they do. Can't break anybody down. And then there's
no. You know what today was? Today was Offsides FC. Did you see how many times did they touch the ball in that first half? And you're like, well, play's dead. You're offsides again. There had to be at least 6 or 7 times in that first half that you're like, can you please get onside? Please get onside. Dude, you're standing away from like everybody on the pitch. You can look down, look across. All you can see is the referee looking at you going, this guy's not going to move. And he does. And Sterling, remember that long pass to Sterling? And you're like, how in the world are you offsides from there?
That's an observation I watch with them. If the game's not going their way, they play for a foul, and then they lay on the ground, hoping the ref will be like, oh, well, let's stop the play 15 seconds later. It's like, you obviously aren't getting the foul. You're not hurt. Get up and keep playing. Like, that infuriates me. Yeah. And I watched Sterling do it. I watched Trossard do it. And Trossard's been good for us. So I know I'll give him a pass. Sterling's been hasn't worked.
Yeah.
But I noticed that. But also Arteta gets credit today. He tried something different, and it worked.
Yeah.
So, but also bringing up a different formation, Sam and DeGary, and, of course, Tom, since you're here. Looking lovely in the bottom right screen, by the way.
Hey, Rosie.
You were in Dubai. Could you not have learned a new system? Could you not have implemented, hey, guys, we're down to 3 attackers. We may have to implement this at times. Here's the thing about, it's easy to say just implement a new formation, but players have to be able to learn that too and understand their responsibilities. So if you're doing a 4-3-3, it's not that difficult, I think, to transition to a 4-4-2 because the responsibilities for the back 4 stay the same, and the responsibilities for the 3 kind of change a little bit. But then now the 2 that you had split now have there's different spaces of responsibility. But at the same time, you went to Dubai, and what you got out of it was a torn hamstring from Havertz. I mean, let's be fair on this one. Maybe that hamstring was waiting to go because he played so much. Let's be honest.
You saw he was against Wolves. You saw he pulled up with You saw he pulled up holding his hamstring towards the end of the Wolves game.
Yeah.
So
somebody didn't heed the warning, right? I mean, there was a universal sign of what potentially could happen, and if that's the case, he should be getting the rest he needs, even though we can't afford it. But now he's out for the rest of the season. You know what? That hamstring is probably going anyways, the way that we played all season anyways. And so it's because we didn't have the depth, because Jesus went out, because Jesus wasn't ready to play early part of the season, right? And all that kind of stuff, right? So we didn't have the squad depth to actually rotate him in and out of the lineup anyways, right? You kind of just basically overuse your players, and then here we sit, right?
I guess
Saka's been limping for how long now? How many seasons now? Yeah. Right? We didn't get an answer for him, right? And eventually it just pops, right? It just pops. I mean, both players tore, if not separated, the hamstring, right? All right, and there are 2 probably players that work the hardest out there. I think Havertz is one of the top players in terms of distance traveled on the pitch, right?
Easily. Yeah,
right, for not only for Arsenal, but I think in the league.
Yeah, in the league,
right?
It was 100%.
So you got, and this is where we talk about player management once again. And the only way you can do it is if you trust your squad. You got to, right? You got to trust your squad so you can actually rotate. And we always, whenever I talk about rotate, people go, well, you don't just rotate for the sake of it, but this is why you rotate, so you don't have these type of situations. Like, players don't necessarily hit red lines, but they definitely hit time when you're like, their form is dipping. Maybe I'll give them maybe I'll bring them off the bench today. You know what I mean? Yeah. Those are the types of things.
There should have been more rotation. Yeah. There should have been more rotation,
I mean, I guess my point is, why did we just give him a week off? Why did we go to Dubai? Just everybody sit down, take a week, light work, come in, do some bikes, stay your cardio shape up, but just chill out. Like, instead, no, we're going to go to Dubai and we're going to do these tactics and all this.
You know what it is? You know what it is? I think it's something to do with that. I really do. I know this hasn't been confirmed anywhere, at least that I've seen, but I do think it might have something to do with our Emirates deal, because Emirates, they're based in Dubai. There might be something there where, like, you guys, it's not like they force us to go. It's not like it's contractually, it's like a contractual obligation. But I think they're like, listen, we're, with Emirates, you guys can come here. We'll give you a good deal. We'll probably get like a really good deal out of it or something like that, And that's why we do it. We go there because it's really like a good deal for us through Emirates or something like that.
Maybe some sponsorship money that they gave, like, hey, here's an appearance fee for coming down. And I mean, look, man, it's all hindsight's 2020, but Arteta got it right today, and he deserves the credit today. And that's all I've really got to say on that one. I mean, I'm glad Moreno came through. Again, I guess my point is, and I've said this, everybody just chill out, breathe for a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be a rocky ride.
Let's give it a chance. We got the team's in a difficult place. What happened in January happened. We can't do anything about that now. We all agree it was terrible. The transfer window was a fucking disaster. We all agree, but now we need to galvanize as a team, as a supporter, as a fan base. We need to get behind the team and push them all we can as supporters. Give them support, and let's see how far we can go this season with what we've got. The chances aren't great, but you got to support the team. You got to get behind the team. There's no point crying and moaning and whining over something that we can't do anything about right now. We just have to do the best out of what we have right now.
There's absolutely nothing you can do right now.
This is where you have to trust your squad, right? And Arteta did that today. He showed it today with Moreno coming on. So you got to, as I said, no passengers. I was just answering Alex's question about mods, and there's different ways to become a mod in any channel. One, you can be like Beakers Gun, who's been with us since day dot, and then you can be like Rosie, who's come in and basically just said, you know what,
I'm not had a penis.
And what?
Basically, not had a penis.
I like BX's idea. We should have gone to Rwanda and picked up some of those guns. That's a great idea.
I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Miss Melina joins us. Welcome to the show.
Big up, Melina.
But there's different ways, Alex, to get involved. Basically, the more we see you in the chat and stuff like that, the more it's easy for us.
But anyway, I just want to bring in Tom because
got Anders in the house. Welcome to the show, Anders.
I want to bring in Tom because he's bored. He's been listening to us rattle on for like half an hour now. So God bless him. So Tom, I want to ask you. I got a couple of Leeds questions for you, and don't worry, I'm not going to joke around. First of all, who you playing next?
On Monday night, we play Sunderland at Leeds.
You playing them at home or away?
At Leeds.
At Leeds,
when
okay.
we played them away, the goalkeeper dropped the ball.
Yeah, okay. You should beat Sunderland at home. I think it's more difficult to go to the Stadium of Light. But I think you'll probably beat them. But I was going to ask you, Tom. I was actually going to ask you a Leeds question today. So far, this season, who, in your opinion, is Leeds' best player so far this season? Like the one best player?
It's hard, genuinely hard to say, because we're overperforming every single statistic that currently exists. Apart from, it's the thing, we've not had 11 clean sheets in a row because we've been too busy scoring goals. So, unlike Burnley, of course, that sounds really bitchy of me. But the fact of the matter is, we've overperformed in every statistic for the championship level. To be clear, because I know it's easy to turn and go, oh, but Arsenal would beat you. Of course you would, because you buy players for £100 million. Of course you'd beat us. You'd beat us tomorrow. Then you'd beat us the next day. And then you'd beat us the day after that if you can be bothered. That's exactly what would happen if we played you 3 days running from Monday to Wednesday. You'd win 3 times, probably. But we ain't playing Arsenal. We're playing the likes of Luton. We're playing Oxford. We're playing Watford away and then slaughtering them 4-0. And Cardiff, which went a certain way. And sorry, no. 7. So we scored 7. Just to double check. Monica, how many goals did we score? Oh, it's that many. It's 7.
God.
To answer your question, I think low-key the best player in the team has been Altanaka, personally.
And I bet
Take away my Junior Firpo bias.
I'll tell you what, I bet you John McClain is absolutely chuffed.
John McClain probably inspired him.
Absolutely.
But the one thing about the Leeds team, though, like you say Tanaka, but he doesn't play every game, right? Or hasn't played every game, and there's always somebody that stands out. Like sometimes it might be Solomon that comes in and as a standout game. James coming off the bench has been consistently good, right? And then like I just feel like you got like a squad, right? The squad is really good, and on any day, somebody will stand up because you'll sit there and watch for 50 minutes, 60 minutes, nothing happening. He'll go to the bench, and next thing you know, bang, 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 things start to open up for them a little bit. So it's hard to pick. I think it's hard to pick one player because usually you can tell, right? It's just one player that brings it out. But if you watch enough of the games,
this is the difference. Yeah. Literally, Gary, you've explained it very, very well. To be fair to you,
yeah.
Leeds United last season, the fortune depended on does Somerville play well. If Somerville plays well, Leeds are going to give someone a bit of hiding. If Somerville doesn't play well, we're going to lose 1-0 and be really angry about it. The fact that he never played well. Whereas this year, it's basically take your pick. If Daniel James gets a little bit tired, we look over and go, "Hi, Willie Nonto, do you fancy having 30 minutes in the Championship?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, I've got nowhere else to go. I mean, you're literally holding me hostage for my contract." I'm like, "Well, you shouldn't have probably tried to fuck off then, you little fucker." Anyway, sorry, that's backstage business. But the embarrassment of riches in terms of talent for the Championship level, let's be very clear about that. A lot of we come away from every game with the managers of the other team often saying that's a mid-table Premiership team, and I hope they're right. But the problem is we're not a mid-table Premiership team because we're currently top of the Championship, and you've got to stay there to even have the chance of becoming a Premier League.
So your choice for best player so far this season is Tanaka. Is that your choice?
Yeah. Keep in mind,
that's an interesting choice, to be honest.
The reason I go with that is because it's easy to sit there and go, Daniel James is like getting goals and Joel Peru's getting goals and assists up the wazoo. Solomon's basically is 10 goal contributions in the last 10 games. Really impressive. But none of that happens if someone doesn't win the ball to then give it to them. And that's what Altanaka does. He is all over that pitch like a rash. And it's fascinating.
That's interesting. That's someone who drives the middle, someone who's that motor in the middle, that machine in the middle, who links up with the attack and he's like the catalyst, the catalyst of the attacking play. That is such an important role. That's what we have Erdegaard who has that role for us. I know people are upset with his assists and goals, but he is the catalyst in nearly everything we do in the attack. He's a part of every attack. Mm-hmm. And it's that like was Tanaka's like doing that kind of role for you. Yes, I can see that's a good choice. Yeah.
One of the goals,
isn't it like the play before the play? Because as you said, you've got goal contributors all over the place. Like for me, sometimes like when Erdegaard was like he wasn't scoring, but everybody said that's one of our best players on the pitch, right? Because of everything he does before the ball gets into the attacking third, all right? And he led a lot of that. Nobody sees it sometimes. Sometimes it's pressing up top, turning the ball over. Sometimes it's managing the middle of the pitch with the midfield and stuff like that we don't necessarily see, right? And then you go, he had a really good day today. Everybody's looking at the stats going, I don't see it. And then we're winning 3-0. And you're like, why are we winning 3-0? It's because of what he's done. It's like the workhorse, right? Does all that stuff, gets us into position, and then somebody else takes the limelight just because they
takes
get
the glory.
Yeah. So
that's interesting. Interesting choice, Tanaka. I like that. It's a good choice.
With one of the goals, for example, on Tuesday night, was basically Watford only need to make a shot and they're probably going to score. But Altanaka doesn't let them take a shot. Altanaka wins the ball in our box, and then 3 passes later, we've scored a goal.
Yeah, that's great.
He then knocks the ball out to Joel Peru, who then basically knocks the ball out to Daniel James, who just rifles it past the keeper. It was incredible. But the 4th goal which in my opinion is all Altanaka, but he doesn't get any ever credit legally because he's not going to show up on any like list for he gets the assist because our sport is not like ice hockey. Whereas basically two or three players can be credited with an assist.
With ice hockey, it's only the assist. Yeah, the assist. You get a point for the assist and then a point for the goal. Yeah.
Yeah, but
and I think two people can get an assist on one. One goal.
Yeah, you can get two assists though, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
If two people could get an assist, he'd have 30 assists.
Yeah,
but he now probably only has like 5 or something like that. But basically, he ran with the ball and he basically dragged Tom Ince into retirement because I think he should be so embarrassed by his conduct over this goal, which basically should just tell his dad, "Sorry, Paul Ince, I need to retire because I got embarrassed by Altanaka." But basically, he did a thing where, like when a player then starts like running away from the player that's tackling him, but then he just turned and then went in a massive circle and went around him like a boat turning. It was very funny. And that's not me insulting him. Like
no, I get what you mean.
The fact that Tom Ince let this happen made it all the more funnier.
Tom Ince was a big name, wasn't he? I remember Tom Ince being mentioned a lot a few years ago. He was a big name. Like a big talent, like a name that was mentioned a lot in terms of all big talented midfielders. Yeah, Tom Ince doesn't seem to have really pushed on from it, has he?
Yeah.
I believe he got purchased by Stoke, and it was like, oh, he's really going to push on here. Yeah. He pushed Stoke further into the Championship. So,
you know, this is interesting here. Newcastle plays us, has some of their best games. Everybody else, they don't show up those games.
They always show up when they play us. They show up and then they go and get battered the next game like 4-0. It's so annoying. It's so annoying with Newcastle. Yeah. Oh.
As people say, they have our number. It's like back in the days, or I would say back in the days, but it probably still happens where that team shows up against City and then everybody else, they struggle, right? So, yeah. No, that Sam was a good question there from Mr. Tom. But I just think they are deep, right? They've had injuries. It hasn't mattered. They've had poor games. It hasn't mattered. And he's got the answers. Sometimes I think he holds on to the answers too long. He just needs to let them go out there and see if the answers work, right? Because you've had enough. You probably will say you probably had too many draws where maybe you should have made a change sooner, just because it wasn't working the first 45 minutes. And maybe you know what, you are deep enough. Make that change sooner, please, because things start to open up, but it's a little too late sometimes. So because. Yeah, it's fun to watch them. You don't know who's gonna show up today, but somebody always shows up. So it should be fun watching Leeds play, right, Mr. Tom?
It's very nerve-wracking, and at Watford it was nerve-wracking until about 30 minutes in, where we were 3-0 up, and it was like, all right, maybe I can relax here, but it is quite fun.
Yeah, I don't think I even said hi to Retro Gamer, even though I think this is Colonel. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's Colonel. Okay. Yeah, big up Colonel.
Yeah.
Hope you're good.
Okay, all right.
So what the scores? I think we just started the second half now. What are the scores in the Premier League at the moment?
Do you want me to put them out?
Yeah, go on.
Please.
City's up 3-0. We're about to start the second half.
Fulham put them up in the order. Put them up in the order they're listed, sir.
All right, you know what? I don't have it up on my screen. So if you have it up,
so weird how y'all do that.
Go ahead, Mr. Tom. If you got it up on your screen, or else I have to find it on mine. All right, it sounds like.
Why is that weird?
Because no one goes like, the Chiefs 14, the Chiefs 22, Eagles 40.
Oh, here it's listed as in by kickoff time.
Yeah.
And then
no, I'm not knocking it. I just think it's weird. But maybe I am knocking it, so I'll shut up.
All right.
It sounded very like go and open your door because you're knocking something.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Oh my gosh.
I'll shut up now.
All right, so here we go. Here's the scores. Here we go. Here's the scores. Arsenal goes on the road to. Hey, let me do it. Here we go.
Thank you very much.
Let me give the scores now, people. I know you guys I've lost the joke, so I'm just gonna go with what I'm gonna say.
I'm sorry.
Arsenal goes on the road to Leicester, wins 2-0. Aston Villa Ipswich is a 0-0 match. Ipswich is down a man. Fulham home to Forest 1-1 at this point. City up 3-0 on Newcastle right now. Southampton home to Bournemouth, losing 2-0. West Ham home to Brentford, down a goal. And later on today, you got Crystal Palace and Everton. Everybody's like. So the late game is Crystal Palace and Everton.
Yeah,
Sorry, Tom, go ahead.
All I was quickly going to say is that it's very contractually obligated to show every team at least a certain number of times, because no one is. I bet even Crystal Palace fans are thinking, I wish we weren't playing at that time because I'd rather be out for a Chinese or something like that.
I mean, that's not the worst matchup for a late kickoff. It could be like Ipswich and Southampton, the equivalent of the Browns versus the Jaguars on Thursday Night Football. It's bad, but it's not. But I'm a football fan. I'll be fair. I've watched Browns play the Jaguars, but I'm not going out of my way. If that makes sense.
If it's on and you don't feel like pressing that button to go to see what else might be available, you'll just sit there and watch it.
If it's on a Sunday, Gary, I'll watch it. But on a Thursday night, I'm probably going to watch reruns of The Office.
Why I find that fascinating is basically I would find the match you just said, Browns and Jaguars, that's a match that they're going to have penciled in that they think they're going to win each. So basically, they're all going to go 100% it. Even though if they're 100%, it's absolute dog shit, they're still going to give it because they think it's their one chance to win, which is why I was fascinated earlier in the month when Southampton played Ipswich. Because I was like, they are both thinking they're going to have each other. And that's when it gets a bit feisty.
Well, Crystal Palace and Everton are both safe, so there's that aspect, right?
That's boring.
Yeah.
Oh, there's actual no consequence to losing.
Yeah. So here's a quick thing. Big's gonna want to know who Liverpool plays. They play Wolves tomorrow, Villa midweek, and then City. So and then after that they play Newcastle. So they have I would say a tough 4-game stretch there.
I mean, I love the way he's written. Who do they play from now until June?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They don't play any games in June. So.
But more importantly, how is it going in the Northumberland Disabled League?
Oh, do we know the scores there? Mr. Tom has the scores for that league.
I do have the scores from that league in alphabetic order after time order, of course. So Cardiff City drew 1-1 with Bristol City in the early game. Oxford United lost 2-0 at home to Portsmouth. Preston North End drew 0-0 with Burnley in a result that shocks absolutely no one. No one. Even Stevie Wonder was looking at that screen going, I know there's no goals going on. Even if I can't see them, I know that I'm not missing out on anything. Anyway. But obviously last night, Derby County lost 4-0 at QPR in the whoever wins this doesn't need to go fuck themselves match. But Derby didn't win it, therefore they can officially go fuck themselves.
There you go, folks. You heard it here. Rashford's making his debut for those who care. There you go. Yeah, Sterling needed to, like at some point we're on the watch line. We're like, bring somebody else on, and I'm like, pick one, Trossard or Sterling. I know Sterling definitely should have come off for sure.
Sterling's done. Sterling is just fucking done. He needs when the season's finished, he needs to either go I don't know, go play in America or go play somewhere in the Middle East, something like that. Just get the fuck out of our club because he is absolutely useless. All he's doing is just fucking running around on that pitch, getting paid how much. I know we pay half his wages, whatever that is, but he shouldn't be paid anything. He shouldn't be paid a single penny. He's absolutely a waste of space.
Northumberland Disabled League scores. Sorry, it's that call.
So there's a question since we do have Mr. Tom on in the spotlight right now. There's a question for you earlier that somebody posed.
I feel like an angel.
Sorry. So, Mr. Tom, what are your thoughts on the new Bridget Jones film?
I took one thought of it. I thought, I ain't going to watch that. I watched Captain America, Brave New World.
Oh, very nice. Did you like it? You like the Red Hulk?
It
doesn't The fact you hesitated enough that I'm gonna go.
No, thinking of how I'm gonna word it. It's a fine movie. Like, there's nothing egregiously wrong with it inherently. I've nothing against Anthony Mackie as Captain America, anything like that. My issue with it is the fact that I'm expected to have done my homework previously. Basically, there's so many characters that I'd never heard of or basically popped up, and because I've not watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier 4 years ago on Disney Plus, I didn't know who these characters were. I'm like, who the fuck is Osiah Bradley? Or whatever.
There's just so much involved in all that, all the spin-offs, and there's just so much. It's too much of it.
Cut a long story short, when I was doing my review, I found myself writing more about basically what you need to watch to remotely understand this movie. So apparently you need to have watched 2008's Incredible Hulk movie. You need to watch a movie from 17 years ago to actually fully understand the plot of this movie.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
That's not good at all. Not good at all.
I bet Harrison Ford was happy. I bet Harrison Ford was happy that with the whole CGI thing now, because then he doesn't have to move or actually do anything anymore, does he, with CGI? Because let's face it, that guy's just about, I don't know, a couple of footsteps away from death at this point, isn't he?
True. Mr. Tom, your thoughts on Pedro Pascal? I heard you rate him highly in the acting industry. You hesitated again, so I mean, now you get.
Go fuck yourself.
You hesitate. That means either you got nothing to say, and guess what? You hesitated twice, and you had nothing good to say.
I'm not a fan of him. Purely, he's a fine actor, but being a fine actor doesn't mean you need to be in every fucking movie.
Does he do the Corona commercials? He does the Corona commercials, right?
You get fed up. I mean, with Pedro Pascal, like you say, he's a good actor, but he's just in so much now. You just get fed up. You get sick of seeing him.
Give someone else a chance to get some acting work, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Like, people go, oh, there's not enough representation. It's like, yeah, because you've got all the fucking jobs.
Well, that's funny you say that, because that's almost like, I don't know, Spencer, if you think this, but in the NFL, they'll just rotate the same coaches over and over and over again until they've their worn-on date is like, all right, now it's official. You can't coach in NFL anymore.
That's how it goes. I mean, and it comes down to like, I think it's a little bit different in acting, because I think in acting there's just like, oh, this person will get a draw, so I think that's why they do it. But in the NFL, man, they're like, there's so many type A personalities. They're like, oh, this guy will make it work. This guy will make it work, and no one ever takes a risk. Or they go and they get somebody that's new and upcoming, and of course they go to the team and there's no quarterback. And they're like, why did it fail? I don't know. Like, there's just the NFL does a lot of retro regrades. I mean,
Bournemouth is up 3-0 on Southampton.
Like Sean Payton's a retread, but at the same time, he left on his own will. Yeah. Like he didn't get fired, So it's kind of like where Mike McCarthy was kind of a retread.
Correction, 2-0.
I just want to say, Anthony. Sorry, Tom. I just want to finish you off with Anthony. Anthony, pick up in the chat. Always good to have you with us. But he's doing this thing now where he's sitting in the chat and he's sending Tom and myself messages, then say, "Oh, someone's got a message." He's manipulating what we're doing and send us messages.
He's like, "Oh, I hear someone's phone's going off," and I'm like, "Well, my phone's on silent, sir."
Well, I saw that message, and I was like, "I don't remember hearing a phone on this entire thing." So, what's going on? Is that happening at his own house, and he just didn't know the difference?
Oh God! I hear someone's phone's gone off. Well, I didn't hear anything, Anthony, because the phone's on silent.
This score is still 2-0. It was a correction there.
I want to give Rosie credit for actually doing the scores in alphabetical order earlier, I believe. Could be wrong, but I believe that's exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
But
do we have any talking about
that's
scores?
Not alphabetical order.
It's in an alphabetical order, or probably not.
We're talking about scores. Do we have anything from the Grace McEwen Methadone Clinic League?
Yes.
Wow, that's a mouthful. You couldn't repeat that again if you thought.
Everybody passed out because there was no methadone.
Yeah, you can't repeat it because it's too much.
I need to do the Northumberland Disabled League still. Oh, it's that cough that tells the truth.
It's the Grace McEwen Methadone Clinic League. It's very famous.
Blackburn Rovers have just scored to go 1-0 up on Plymouth Argyle. The same Plymouth Argyle that won 5-1 against Millwall in the midweek. 5-1. 5. There was only 2 goals off of getting Monica Gellard. Anyway.
Don't you fucking start.
Hull City are tied 1-1 with Norwich City. Let's see if the Leeds player got involved. Actually, former Leeds player Louis Coyle with the assist. Anyway. Luton Town are currently tied 0-0 with Sheffield United, and I'm just double checking so it doesn't change one as I read this out. No, Middlesbrough 0, Watford 1. So Watford have actually come back from their absolute getting bent over by Leeds United on Tuesday night, which is goal. Villa of 0, Ipswich 1 somehow.
Wow, Ipswich is up. A man down and they score. Wow.
That's a good return, yeah.
So, wow. See, that's what. And then once again, I look at that score and I'm like, how in the world did we draw to Villa? You know, we drew to Villa at home with a 2-goal lead.
Well, because Villa are not taking this one seriously, or they would be absolutely spanking Ipswich.
Yeah.
But they're not, so they're not. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Coventry City 1. So Sims has scored. He was terrible against Leeds. Anyway. Stoke City 0, Swansea 0, and Millwall 1, West Bromwich Albion 1 in a match so bad that even live score's gone. I can't even bother to tell you who scored.
Yeah, you got Delap with that goal for
we haven't bothered them with the Grace McEwen Methadone Clinic League.
In the Grace McEwen Methadone League, Celtic are currently 2-0 up against Dundee United. Dundee FC are 2-1 down at home to Aberdeen. Kilmarnock 1, St Johnstone 0, and that Scottish team that begins with M, she's fine, thanks. 0, Ross County 1. Ross County 1.
Damn.
So the goal scorer for Ipswich was Delap, because of course it was.
Yeah, he's a lot of people talking about him lately. He's someone that a lot of teams will probably want.
Supposedly he's Chelsea's next striker, right?
Well,
I do want to thank Rosie though. Sorry, Tom. I just want to say.
Go on, mate. I was only going to say nonsense. Go on, no problem.
we all do that anyway. I just want to say to Rosie, thank you for telling us about your weekend in that second to last comment.
You couldn't pay me to watch B. Shit Jones.
No, a second to last comment.
I just put it up, Mr. Tom.
Oh, 10 men. I now get what Sam just said.
Everybody's 10 men right now, even Sana. And,
I thought I asked how many players Ipswich had. I didn't realise I'd actually asked how her dating life went in last month. I'm not shaming anyone. Bonnie Blue can do what she wants.
Bonnie Blue, it's Mildred.
Bonnie Blue.
That's Mildred, and don't be saying bad things.
Does Gary even know who that is?
Don't Google it. Don't Google it, Gary. Please.
No, I mean, you know what? I'm learning. You know what? Sometimes you'll tell me not to do it, and sometimes I'll go. You know what? I'm not going to do it.
Nope. Don't.
So
do
this one was one of those where I kind of waited, and you gave me the warning.
Definitely do not Google Bonnie Blue 1000 with the search engine off. With
Bonnie Blue 1000. That doesn't sound.
Do not do that.
That sounds scary.
Do not do that. I'm not doing a thing where I'm saying don't do that, so I can be seen saying don't do that.
Just don't do it.
Actually, do not do that.
Yeah.
All right, I got it. I'm not going to do it. Kamara's off.
He's going to do it.
You think anybody think Real Madrid, are they going to make it through this season? Because, I mean, not only they're like having every kind of struggle you can think of, either poor play, injuries.
Hey, Miss Melina.
Or anything. Yes, Melina. Yeah, she was in here earlier today.
Yeah, we got Melina.
She done her thing. She done the thing where she said hello to the Mr. Tom fan club. But you get 2 hellos when you do that.
Mr. Tom fan club. How many people are in that thing?
Probably 2, but still.
At least 2.
Including my own membership.
Do you have to pay for your own membership or do you get it free?
I didn't even create the fan club. So I didn't make the rules of it. You can't make your rules of your own fan club. That's just sad.
Do you have a card, though? Are you a card carrying member?
I'm not a card carrying member because, you know, that again, that's just...
You just said you're a car. You said you're a member of the Mr.
I
Tom
just
Fan
went along
Club.
with whatever
That
was
comes with
being
a
said,
card,
Gary.
doesn't it?
Don't expect me to remember the facts and the details and the money. Speaking of which, when I see Al Tanaka running around the football pitch, all I see, right, and people are going to say, "Oh, Tom, this is going to get a bit offensive," but all I see is a pile of money running around because we pay. It probably is in the post. To be fair, I didn't even know I had a checkbook. I wrote that on the back of a napkin. Sorry, what? Anyway, because we only paid about £2 million for him, or 3 at the most. It varies depending on how much I like him that week. I'm pretty sure if it does turn out badly for us, he is still going to be playing in the Premier League, and I can't wait how much money we're going to get offered.
Oh, you got a header from Fulham. They take the lead. Very nice cross. Very nice header to the far post. Fulham's up 2-1.
Anthony Herbert's about to pop up in a second and say, "I think your phone's going off." and this is what he sent me. It says, "Love you, love you, Mr. Tom. Love you, Mr.
And Rosie's Rosie's all into this 10 men thing now.
I'm going to send this in here, and I'm going to put it up because it's incredible.
Oh my gosh!
Look at Rosie trying to pretend she's all that.
Very nice header, man. That's a very nice header. Jimenez.
Rosie, that's sizeism.
Yeah.
Sizist. Similar to Gary, who is Leedsist and Thomas.
I'm what is?
Leedsist.
Just make something up at this point. I've already forgot what I said.
Bassi with his first goal of the season. I
saw the word buffet vouchers and then 150, and I thought, who's got 150? Then she said that I gave them to her. I'm giving anyone 150 in buffet vouchers. I'm using them.
Yeah,
I'm going to the buffet.
That's for damn sure. How was the buffet? Was you at the buffet after the cinema yesterday?
No, I've avoided the buffet for a couple of weeks because I was getting.
Did you do like some commando stuff, like when you came out of the movie theater, so they didn't see you?
Did I crawl past the door? Like, I hope they don't see me.
He did one of those like low rolls, so they don't see him because he's low to the ground. And like, is Mr. Tom coming down now? And it's like, then these rolls and then rolls out of the way, and they don't see him as he takes off out of the building.
That's almost certainly what happened. To be fair to you.
19 points dropped from winning positions, third most in the Premier League. I think Arsenal's at 12. So,
damn.
Oh God! Funny how the show has suddenly taken an upturn in its quality.
Well, we let you talk. No, you didn't like that at all. So forget it. Screw it. I don't like you. Why are you on here, anyways? I started trying to give you some compliment, and you just look at me with that look. Look at it. You just look. Stop looking at it.
Oh my God, that is fantastic. So I could put a photo up. Obviously, it's not offensive, so Gary's got nothing to worry about. If anything, I'm the one that's got things to worry about because it's
oh
Pedro
my gosh,
Pascal
the man loves you, man.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant, Anthony. Oh God.
I'm surprised Anthony Herbert can even spell Mr. Tom.
Well, he comes from Bristol. You know, he's a bit of a country bumpkin, isn't he? So you never know.
He must be one of the smart ones in the local area.
He's in the West Country.
We've got a question from Rosie who says, "What the hell are Villa doing?"
They are
the gentleman with the live footage. What
Villa just went out and got like how much attacking? They got all that attacking answers supposedly, right? They're playing the Ipswich down a man, and they can't score. Is Duran the only answer, and they just let him go for money?
He's not good enough.
Yeah, no, but you know what? As
you have all the Emery simp show up again, though. I mean, Villa have been terrible since the beginning of the season. Just because they got points against us, you have all the league gun and Emery's so brilliant. Oh, fuck off. Emery's good. Emery's good in the Euro. He's good in the UEFA. The UEFA, what's it called?
Europa League.
Europa League. That's it. He's good at that. That's a trophy he's good at doing.
Yeah. What are Villa doing? Why is Palace Everton in the late game today? They're trying to make money.
Yeah, as Tom said, I think Tom's correct. Is that they have to.
Everybody gets the slot, right?
Yeah, everyone gets at least 1 or 2 games in that prime time slot per season.
Yeah.
It's just, as silly as this will sound, it's just really convenient for the TV companies that basically one of the big 6 are not playing each other, from what I can tell. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in that slot.
Well, City and Newcastle aren't they in the top 6?
No, I said the big 6, not the happen to have money 6.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Newcastle's fascinating. Newcastle, they have quite a big fan base, like in the north of it, northeast of England, obviously where they're from. They don't really have a big international fan base, but that is a club that punches above its weight in terms of their fan base. Their fan base think that Newcastle is such a huge fucking club. If you were just going by the fan base and their cockiness, their level of fucking confidence, you would think they were Real Madrid, but they're not. They're a fucking mediocre football club, and they haven't won the league since the 1920s, and I think they won an FA Cup or something in the 90s, if I remember correctly, or something like that. But yeah, they basically haven't done anything for a long time, apart from have Alan Shearer, who scored a lot of goals. Great, yeah, legend of the Premier League, but that's it. And their fan base are just so fucking overconfident, with their club. They just need to get back in the box. A lot of them, really.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like it's very Carabao Cup residuals off of this speech, Sam. To be fair,
is there do you see any way like the money kicks in for Newcastle and then they go do whatever people think they want to do?
Well, that's the thing.
It's the Man City case. Very simply, the Man City case will determine their future because they have got an ear to this, as in, what can I get away with spending, essentially.
You know what? I've been saying this for a little while now. With Newcastle, I find it a little bit strange how they haven't been spending a lot more money. I know they're probably like, there's all this, we want to try, maybe, stay within regulations, blah, blah, blah. Man City haven't given a fuck. They just don't give a fuck, right? Chelsea didn't give a fuck back not long ago. Chelsea just been blatantly breaking all the rules for years. It's like Newcastle have got the most money. They've got more money than Man City. And they're just not spending it. And I just find that really strange. It's like, what as soon as that Saudi conglomerate took over Newcastle, everyone said, okay, this is it. This is a new Man City. They're going to be champions within 3 years. They're going to have the best squad in the Premier League, blah, blah, blah. And they've got Sean Longstaff up front. They've got fucking Dan Burn in defence. They're playing with Dubravka in goal. I mean, it's,
no ambition, Sam. They have no ambition.
It's all the optics of it. Basically, they've looked at Man City and gone, how much did that cost for Man City to assemble? It's like, well, why can't we try and assemble that for half the money? I mean, they've not assembled anything like it, but I imagine the reason they've not gone out and bought Robinho in the first week of owning the club, like Man City did, they've basically gone, well, they managed to get in the Champions League with fucking Longstaff up front. Yeah. And Jacob
Ollie Watkins scores on a a rebound off the crossbar.
I hate to rehash this, but I was sitting there watching the game, and I was watching Jamie Vardy, and I'm like, how stupid are we to sit there and say, oh, Ollie Watkins would only be good for a couple of years for us? You could have bought Watkins for the amount, and he could have been here for the next 4 or 5 years.
You know what?
I'm not trying to rehash it, but that was the thought during the game. I was like, we sit there and say, oh, he's 29, he's too old. Isn't Vardy like 36?
Absolute rubbish. I agree with you, Spence.
You know what?
We dropped the ball on that. We dropped the ball on that big time.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to complain about the club. I'm not. It was something I was sitting there thinking about it. We sit here and like, well, if the guy's 31, he's not good anymore. What? Like,
well, you know what I find weird is we can't bring Sesko in because he's not going to get the minutes. Last time I looked, RB Leipzig was playing Sporting, and both him and Gyökeres came off the bench. And I'm like, so he doesn't play every game anyways, right? So that thought there is that, you know, he needs to play minutes. I'm like, nah. Even if we got Ollie Watkins in, you can bring Sesko in still, right? You either play both of them up top if you wanted to, or you could rotate them around and all of that kind of stuff. Like Sesko is, I mean, I don't think he's at like that level that he just takes over and starts for us, right? No matter where he goes. If it's a step above RB Leipzig, right? Is he starting for everybody? Probably not the ones that are at an Arsenal level, right?
The whole Sesko thing is just a non-starter because RB Leipzig were not willing to let him go, and he didn't want to move in January. It's as simple as that. But Watkins was actively trying to get a move for us. Yeah. He didn't go as far as handing in a transfer request because that is a really big thing for a player to do. He didn't do that, but he had his agents, according to all the reports, he had his agents working really hard behind the scenes with Arsenal to get a move to Arsenal. Yeah. And it was only up to us to go to Aston Villa and say, okay, you want £60 million, here's £60 million. And we wouldn't give them more than, 40 or 45.
Yep.
Which is stupid, absolutely stupid. And Spencer's dead right. This whole thought, oh, he's too old. No, it's rubbish. A 29-year-old striker is in his prime. That is his prime. Yeah. And that's exactly what we need. We need a striker who's in their prime. We don't need a Sesko. I mean, I would still take Sesko.
Well, you know what? They went to the discount.
Sesko's going to take 2 seasons to get into
wouldn't have been a discount.
No, they went for a discount. They said, you know what? If I don't want to spend 60 on Ollie Watkins at 28. But you know what I'll do? For 50% off, I'll bring in Moreno, and there you go. There's your striker. That's what we basically did, right? It's essentially what we did today.
That was my first big thought during that game today, Gary and Sam, of course, Tom. Is like the age thing is that we sit here and we overreact on it. We absolutely sit there and go, oh, well, the guy's 29. He'll only give us a couple of years. At the end of the day, like, I don't know how many goals Vardy has, but I mean, look, BX says the last 5 Ballon d'Or winners were 30 plus.
Yeah.
But you know what? But the one thing Vardy is when he's on the pitch, he's a threat. Like if you don't pay him any mind, you're going to get in trouble, right? You have to keep an eye on him. He will make you pay if you make a mistake, no matter how old he is, right? And we don't have that right now, right? We spent no money on an attacker that puts a threat up, no matter what's going on, even if they're having a good day, bad game, whatever. And that's the problem for me. It's like, are you kidding me? We could afford to get a player. You know, we could bring in a party now, and he would do more for us than anybody we've got right now, all right?
I mean,
he doesn't have to start for us every game, but when he plays, you're in trouble because you know he's going to bring it, right?
And that's why that Moreno profile makes sense if you think about it. He's a guy that you can throw on with 30 minutes left. He's got like that Chris Wood size, right? Like I'm not sitting here saying it's the answer going forward, but it's something that was probably there that, you know, maybe you could have given Havertz a break if hindsight's 2020. It's all 2020. And you can sit here, armchair quarterback, it's here, blue in the face. I shouldn't have gone left today. I should have gone right. You know, there's all sorts of things you can do after the fact, but it's one of those, retrospects. And it was just one of the big things I took away from today is like this whole ageism shit we do with strikers. And, well, it's going to be 28, blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit, man? Like, Watkins doesn't have to play 90 minutes a game for you when he's 33. He could come on and do a business for you.
If he starts games for us, we're going to get those 1 and 2 goals in the first half that we need, I believe.
I mean, I guess my point is in the summer, I
What'd
would
you say?
rather still go for Watkins over Sesko.
I was saying we get through. I'm saying at 29, I guarantee you, unless he gets injured or something really terrible happens, you bring in a Ollie Watkins in his prime now, you get at least 3 good seasons out of him, at least 3. And that is what. Why is anyone against that? Why are we not wanting a prime striker to come in and give us 3?
If you can think that, if people are thinking
Strawberry.
Wood is a good player to
Strawberry.
bring in, if people are thinking Wiz is a good player to bring in, if people are thinking, you think of all these other teams that have attackers that are like having banner years this year. Ollie Watkins has been consistently good, yeah. So yeah, no, Arsenal needs that. I mean, and who says there's a problem to have 2 strikers, right?
Yeah,
There's no problem having 2 strikers in a squad,
No,
I mean, City just won what they won. They won. They hit their. They won their 4th in a row with 2 strikers on a team. The way they played them, right? So it's definitely a possible, and we need. I want the odds to be in our favor, right? And the only way that this happens is if we got more than we need, right? We don't want to do that. We don't want to overload. Like we will overload. What did you say? We have 3. We have our starting left back is playing in front of 3 or 4 left backs that we have in this squad. All right. But to bring in 2 legitimate strikers is a problem. I don't get it. Right.
It's the hardest position to find in football. It really is.
But they're out there. You just have to pay for them or take the risk once in a while.
Point.
We don't want to do either one. They're not taking the risk, and we're not going out there and spending the money. As soon as come back from being down a man, they're up a man, and they just tied up this match. So there you go. Say Adrian is down. We got Bronco in the house. This Bronco and VA guy.
Got her in the house. No, I've got YouTube Premium, so we share a YouTube channel now. So
okay.
Because you can do YouTube Music's free.
Oh yeah.
You don't need that Spotify crap and all that stuff.
I now understand. Sorry, that was rude of me. Sorry.
No, go ahead, say it because I didn't have anything else to say.
I now understand. Like there was an episode of CSI where they basically determined you can actually tell who wrote a typed out message, like what gender, based on what they say. And for example, I wouldn't catch Spencer dead typing "Hey y'all." For example,
hey y'all.
Much better. I don't say that shit either. Yeah, Holly's definitely got the southern drawl still.
Hey y'all, how y'all
doing? Drinks. She's like, "Hey y'all."
Yeah.
Hey y'all.
So how? What? Okay, good. I don't think we talked about it, but
Southern Bells are fun. That's all I'm gonna say.
But Chelsea.
What about it?
Do we laugh at
Chelsea?
Southerners
over on NXT to know that they are certainly solid citizens.
That is true.
My wife is a solid citizen, so I'll give her that credit.
Solid citizens. Yeah. Solid citizenry should not be a crime.
No. She doesn't know what that means, but that's all right. She'll get it later. Never mind. I called you a solid citizen. Just Google it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but don't Google Bonnie Blue in 1000.
Don't Google it. Don't Google it.
You know what? Stop bringing it up because
she had no idea who it was either. So
no, you keep no. Stop talking about it.
I'm done. I'm sorry.
No.
Spencer's made his contribution.
Do you know it was only a week ago that I learned that Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips are not the same person.
Well, you can definitely. It's easy to mistake them, isn't it? Because they do the same thing basically, and that is have sex with thousands of men.
I literally think they look the same. I mean, I know they're not the same. I now know they're 2 different people. But because
why are we still talking about this when you're telling me not to Google, but then you're gonna continue to give me more information that I don't want to hear.
We know you like it, Gary. You like the game.
That's the road trip, though, isn't it, sir?
You like it.
That's the road trip, baby.
He likes it. It's dirty.
As soon as it came out of Mr. Thomas' mouth, I knew. Like, first I thought he was talking about like Luco in the sense of Chelsea, because that's that's on everybody's lips as well. But then he said no, he went a different blue. Yeah,
different kind of blue. Anyway,
so to go back to the Arsenal striker. Actually, I think Tom had something better to say. Go ahead, Tom. I did
have something better to say because I feel this is 100% better, but still might not be. Anyways, Sam went earlier when he asked me the question about lease plan. That should have, this is my fault, it should have triggered a Tom's Tactics truck, where I then proceeded to describe Tanaka's sending Tom Ince into retirement. Why did I not Tactics truck this shit?
We haven't seen a Tactics truck for a long time, Tom.
Do you even have? Oh, we do have.
Yes.
You know what? We do have people. We need
a Tom Tactics truck. We haven't seen it for
it's been a very long time.
Unleash the Tactics truck.
Here we go, folks. It's been a while, man. It's been a while. Yeah. Yep.
You know what's going to come out of retirement today? Francisco and Pasquale. I can't believe I did that. Anyway. So, you all know the score, so I'm not going to waste your time too much because it's mainly about playing the video that Gary made. I like when Gary plays videos. For example, the one of me dying while eating crisps. For example, like... Sorry, that's one of your themes that you've made. Anyway. But still, that's the one you walk into the stadium, isn't it? If I'm right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've used that one. Yeah.
It's been a while. Oh, Mr. Herbert, I may have cleaned up your image a bit, just so you can, where you're like trying to have me, what's the word, stalked by Pedro Pascal.
You know what? Anyway. You know what, Colonel Ward? Because you know what? Oh, you know what? I'm not around next weekend, so I don't know what's going to happen. So
it's going to be a Richard Nixon festival, I suspect.
Tom, I hope those little fingery things are clean.
They were clean because I always clean things that have been up my ass. Sorry, what?
Looks like City's about to score. They haven't scored on my screen yet.
Go on, Tom. Break down the tactics for us. Go on.
So basically, Leeds tended to set up in such a way where basically it was like, no matter what you do when you play out from the back, Watford, we're going to make you wish you didn't. So basically what happened is they tried to knock it round the back with short passes. Like, this is very nice. This is very well good stuff. But then one of their players made the error of basically passing to Daniel James, which then led to 1-0. Because then it was like, bish, bosh, bish, bosh, bosh, bosh. Then...
That doesn't look PG, Tom.
I know that
doesn't look PG. What you're doing?
No wonder you have to clean those.
Anyway, second goal. Dan James straight in. Second goal. Altanaka wins the ball on the edge of the box and then lays it out to Joel Peru, who then cuts through a delicious pass straight to Daniel James, who's like, I'm just going to rifle this through the goalkeeper. Like, I'm going to go through him like he's a wall. That's not even there, which is not actually, doesn't make sense as a sentence. Then the third goal, basically, Manor Solomon was basically I'm going to do a shot that has no chance of going in. But then it did, because it hit one of their players. And Chris Uwulumu, the commentator on Sky, who used to play in the Bonnie does, Mr. Herbert. She's named after my pointer, some would say. Anyway. Deflection went in. I was like, yeah. Lovely stuff. Anyway. Fourth goal, Altanaka picks up the ball. And then he basically went, I'm not going to do what I did on the 24th of December in 1988, I believe it is, where because that ended in me getting shot by Hans Gruber. But what I am going to do is I'm basically going to bring Tom Ince out to the halfway line and basically then run around him. Yeah, I can do bullshit with both arms. Anyway, it's true. Right, it's true. But the most important thing here is that he then played a lovely pass through to Joel Peru, who then he flicked the ball to left around the defender thought Joel Peru's going to try and come through me. So basically, I'm going to then just nick the ball off him. And he's like, no, you can't nick the ball off a player that's basically going to go around you, which he did. And then he started ball past goalkeeper. And I was like, yes, get some more goals. And the commentator at this point is literally saying, this is just a matter of how many goals Leeds are going to score. And I was sitting there going, that's kind of true. But it turned out to just be those goals, the 4. Because only Cardiff got absolutely... they got Monica Gellard.
You know what, Holly? There's some things we just don't need to know.
No, I don't think we're going to do that.
Spencer's going to break out the tactics truck.
All I'm going to say is get a black pointer if you can do that sort of thing, because then it's less more inconspicuous, some would say.
That.
Hey, I bet you
Colours against colours and things like that, but still, you're not serious.
you get along with the dogs, dude. You might actually, look at him nodding his head. He's like,
that last comment. Oh, that's brilliant. I'll you know what? Fuck it.
You got to do it now.
Yeah. I'm a fucking wizard, bitch. You can't defeat me.
somebody record that or do whatever so we can get that on the. We need to put that on the show. That's gonna be a segment. I don't even know what a segment is.
Now.
But
wizard, motherfucker.
Jake's gonna send me that clip. We
Oh my god.
We could do with that clip. That'd be a good one.
Well, you got Sky Sports, and then you got Tom's tactics truck.
All right, and that's it.
I know which one I prefer. I know which one I prefer, and it's not Sky Sports.
Yeah, baby. How many years has it been since I've done the tactics truck?
It's been a while, man.
Right now, I didn't even know that Francisco and Pasquale existed.
It's been a while.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's been a while.
That was enjoyable. We love the tactics truck.
I'll tell you something I don't like is when Sheffield United go 1-0 up in the 80th minute and they've not leaked.
Flags in the dark. That would be an interesting segment. Ollie Watkins has scored for Villa. There you go.
It's unfortunate.
Oh, I know what I was going to bring up. I think if it's summertime and you're like, hey, you can buy Sesko, Yorkes, or Watkins, I'm still taking Watkins over the other two.
Interesting.
Because he knows the league. He knows the league.
Yeah. Look, I would go get Watkins and another striker from another team in the Premier League. I need Premier League proven. I don't want these European wonders that may or may not work.
That is an interesting point, Spencer, because, Watkins does know the league, so potentially he's probably going to make more of an immediate impact. But on the other hand, when you look at Gyökeres, you just look at him and his quality of what he does, you're going to think, I probably want to see that at Arsenal. But I do agree with you. I mean, if we did go for Watkins ahead of Gyökeres, I would be happy with that, to be honest. I would.
Yeah, no dot to Leeds, dude. We're not bringing dot to Leeds up on a good day. Dot to Leeds only shows up when it's starting to get a little stinky.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Leeds. Leeds are second in the championship now, though.
Willian has joined the fray. Wilby's off. Traore's off.
You guys play on Monday, and then you still have a game in hand, right? Or is that the game in hand?
No. The game in hand will be Sunderland at home on Monday. So even a draw will take Leeds to the top.
Yeah.
Based off the fact that our goal difference of plus 47, which I imagine is quite good for match day 33.
Yeah, that is good actually.
But our goal difference this time last week or Tuesday night, our goal difference was only 2 goals worse off than Sheffield United and Burnley combined. The goals they've actually scored.
Yeah, no, you guys have got a great goal difference. You guys have got. I mean, that Burnley. I mean, they've hardly scored any goals, but at the same time, they've hardly let in any goals either. I mean, they just don't like goals, really, do they? Either way, either end of the pitch.
Yeah,
Their
fans have been. Sorry, Spencer.
They're just there not to get fined. Burnley is.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
Oh, Holly's here now. Look, hey y'all, hey y'all.
I mean, I totally knew it was you the entire time, Holly, because Spencer wouldn't be caught dead writing the things you've wrote. So, in the way you've wrote them. So, I'm going to share a video in the group chat. Workaholics got me through my divorce. Very funny stuff.
Workaholics. That doesn't ring a bell.
It's on Paramount Plus. It's a good show. I think it was a Comedy Central, so if I'm not mistaken. It's really good. I mean, don't watch it with your kids, but
Cool.
I've never liked Luton.
She embarrassed you?
No.
Spencer?
No, I don't think so.
So no tactic truck finger for you?
Sorry, what? Sorry, that didn't sound PG.
It didn't.
No
I don't know how to
tactic truck
respond
finger
to
for
that one. I really don't.
We need some tactical analysis.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of how
He's thinking about it. That's all right, dude.
I don't want to get myself in trouble with what I might say. Like, it's really like.
Holly's going to say, I think we should do some role play, and Spencer's going to take that to mean I'm going to cut my legs off so I'm 3'5" or whatever it is that he thinks I am, and then I'm going to shave myself bald and buy a lead shirt and then turn up with Pasquale and go, I'm a wizard, bitch. But don't call your own wife that, because that's obviously really not suitable.
Can you really even get a lead shirt in America? Is that a thing?
It should be. It just. Tom in Toy Story. Alex, take 2 seconds, disappear for 2 seconds, and return with that in a English coherent sentence, sir, and I'll answer it. I like Alex Atari, though, despite what I've just said. So,
how did Transmere end up doing today? I think they lost, didn't they?
They were losing 1-0, I think, earlier. The earlier
got a binary.
I really hope so, Alex.
Definitely a non-binary result.
Transmere have scored. Transmere have scored. Oh. They are tied 1-1.
Wow, it's a binary result.
Yeah. Oh, I think he's asking, Mr. Tom, are you going up next season?
Yeah.
I'll answer that on Monday night at 10 p.m. in the UK. But I think we're looking quite good, to be fair.
It's looking good.
I'll tell you a team I don't respect is Luton. Despite the fact that I had a lot of admiration from when it suited me an hour and a half ago, mysteriously, they've managed to actually prove to me why they're slags.
Yeah.
Now, so going up, they didn't. Do you think they just held on to their money? Is that what they did?
Yes, that's exactly
Didn't
what
they try to rebuild their stadium? They spent the money on that instead.
Yeah. They're actually going to build an entirely new stadium with their Premier League money.
Well, that's good of them, man. I think that's admirable.
It is. But at the same time, what would have been more admirable is if they'd have actually took points off Sheffield United.
That would have been more admirable, but they're looting.
It suited me.
They're looting and they're slags. So it's they're not going to do that.
Yeah, the City match is over. Mamouche with a hat trick. 4-0 home to Newcastle.
Mamouche.
Yes, yes, it is, Mr. Herbert. It is actually the second team, the adopted team of the road trip.
It is. It's our spirit animal team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a fact, gentlemen.
That was a fast game. I mean, I guess everybody's in extra time. So what am I saying? Yeah. All these matches should be ending pretty soon. City's the first one to go.
Well, it feels weird playing at 7:30 on a Saturday morning. I'm really tired now, but
Yeah.
The thing that I'm more fascinated about, if you don't mind me saying, is how half time seemed to last about 7 years long when you were talking about Arsenal. But then the game itself have lasted like that.
That
Because it's been a
game.
great old time. It's a great
Yeah,
old
because we
time.
got some.
But Gary had a conspiracy to make extra time half time, last about 7 years.
And it didn't involve any of your shenanigans, did it?
Maybe why it felt like it lasted forever. But no, I'm joking. Of course, I'm joking. Of course, it's inherently an Arsenal show. Despite, they've changed the name again to Transrear.
That big
Road.
gunner is a little bit. Wow.
That's what Cardiff should have changed their name to a couple of weeks ago when we scored 7 past them.
Ipswich is it's 4 minutes of extra time. They are past that mark. They're just trying to hold on by a thread here because Rashford makes a good run. Rashford's cross. Goalkeeper gets a fingertip on it, or else that might go in. And they're subbing to get out of this game. So Rosie says
what in Toy Story was happening there in that segment? Sorry. Yeah. I personally thought that was low-key one of the greatest segments in the history of the road trip.
It was good fun. Tom's tactics track. We missed it. We haven't seen it for a long time.
It's been a while since it made it. So
Gary did ban it, admittedly. So
I don't ban anything.
It's the kind of thing we can do next Saturday, isn't it, Tom? We can, we can.
I don't. Okay, I'm definitely not watching the show then.
Well, I'll be here next Saturday. I was supposed to work, but
Oh my gosh! All 3 of you going to be here? Yeah, I'm definitely not watching it.
Cats away, Meister at play, Gary.
Yeah.
Spencer did slightly miss an opportunity there because he basically should have gone, are we unavailable next Saturday? But Richard Nixon won't be.
We're gonna do a potential. I may have a guest. I happen to know a lot of presidents, living and dead. I'm not going to explain why. Please don't ask why. I don't have the answer to that question. You never know. You never know. Grover Cleveland may make a return.
What a great guy. William Taft. What about him?
Just
William Howard Taft.
Question. From what you know of Richard,
he's not a crook.
I've heard rumours that Richard may have had a run-in with the law, the legal system. But what would he say if someone said that he had?
I'd say I'm not a crook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely would say that.
That actually means a lot more to me than any legal proof ever would. So,
yeah.
Anybody going to stand up in front of England to let Beaks gonna in?
He's a big slag. He's a big slag. I think he would be very close to getting citizenship. That's for sure. But he is on the board of the World Slag Association, though. So that's an important position he holds.
Yeah, which is an important position.
It is very important. Tom's chairman of the board, but the board has a few members now, and BX is on the board.
I thought that was really good on Thursday, in all seriousness. I really enjoyed that discussion. I think your audience did as well, Sam.
We had good fun. We had good fun, didn't we? Check it out next Thursday.
All right. It's been fun. We are hit 2 hours. We're gonna hit the 2 hour mark by the time we're out of here. So we're probably gonna start this. Folks, please return to your seats. We will be arriving at our gate in about 15 minutes. Make sure all your tables are upright and your seat backs are forward. Any trash you might have, just look out for the stewardess as they walk through to pick up your trash. Open up your windows so they don't think there's a problem going on the inside. And we'll see you on the ground in 10 minutes.
Great. This plane's going down, baby.
Oh, man. All right, people. We're going to do this. Who goes first? Uh-oh. Who goes first? Let me see if I can hit the button here.
First.
All right. Here we go, people.
Let Spencer go. He needs to go.
Yeah, so I got to head off and take care of some stuff. But no, I want to say thanks for hanging out with us today, Gary, Tom, Sam. It was a good time. Glad Arsenal got the win. It wasn't looking. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That was if that had ended 0-0, I'd have probably been like, why didn't I sleep in? But yeah, no, it was. I'm glad they figured it out. Hopefully, Moreno can do something for us. And I don't know, man. It's gonna be a bumpy ride to the end of the season, so just kind of enjoy it. And I don't know. I'm not saying don't get upset when things go wrong, but just prepare for the worst and hope for the best. That's the motto I have with the rest of the season. So
There you go.
That's it.
Cool.
Great.
Thank you very much, Spencer. All right, we'll go here, and because there's a question for you, Anthony Herbert wants to know.
We'll start off addressing the couple of questions. Anthony Herbert, otherwise known as El Krusty Socko. Your application for the board of being on the board of the World Slag Association, it is still under. We're still looking through the application. We're still, giving it consideration. I do believe you will get the reply next Thursday, 8 p.m. UK time. We will probably have a decision for you at that time. So please join us to get your decision. BX, you will definitely fit in Luton. They do not have many in Luton. They do not have many teeth, and they definitely do a lot of drugs. So you are definitely, if you're gonna get British citizenship, you're gonna move to Luton. That's what's gonna happen because you'll fit straight in. And they're I guarantee you they got TVs out in their fucking front gardens as well. So they're gonna have loads of old TVs in the front gardens. You can enjoy all the no teeth camaraderie. It'll be great. You'll fit right in Luton. Luton's a shithole. Never go to Luton. It's absolutely terrible. Gary, next time you come over to London, if anyone says to you, "Would you like to come and see Luton?" just say no. You absolutely no, because you will not be missing anything. It is terrible. It is a shithole.
Okay.
Anyway. Not Grimsby. Grimsby is far better than Luton. I can promise you Grimsby is better than Luton, and that's saying something. Anyway, I just want to say thanks, guys. As always, been great fun. Gary, Tom, Spencer, we always have good fun on here with the road trip. Really enjoyed myself. Great to see everyone in the chat as always. All the same people showing up here every week. It's great. We enjoy it. Great Arsenal won. Important 2-0 win when we're going through a really hard time at the moment with everything. It's great to get that 2-0 win. Love to see Marino pop up like a Chris Wood. Take that all day long. Fantastic. Tom, I'm sure will plug his wrestling watch along for later tonight, so I'll let him do that. But check that out, folks. I will be joining Tom for that tonight. We've had a great time. I want everyone to enjoy the rest of the weekend, enjoy the night, and see you next time.
Cool. And Mr. Tom, what say you?
Oh, again, thank you, gentlemen, for spending your Saturday afternoon with me. Obviously, a lot of people wouldn't know this, but Spencer is my favourite hate crime merchant. Above Adolf in the rankings, some would say. And by some, I mean me. But yeah, so as we could always say, basically, this is a link to my watch along for later tonight over on Mr. Tom Talks Wrestling. I'll be watching wrestling with Sam. Gary's obviously welcome if he wants to stop by. And by welcome, I couldn't even literally stop him if he wanted to, because he could just put himself in. But of course, I'm not. It's not a case that I'm not going to sit and go, "Well, why fucking Gary turned up," sort of thing. Like I'll be fine to have you, Gary. In all seriousness.
So what is actually happening this evening, sir?
There's going to be wrestling matches from their training league, and it's going to be mildly amusing because they're all terrible at it.
There you go, folks.
And there's a lot of solid citizens, though. You got to mention that there's a lot of solid citizens. That's worth watching.
Oh, it's pure solid citizenry. Let's just say left to right.
Are they going to get Mr. Tom off the top rope? Aerial cam?
I probably couldn't even reach the top rope. Especially from midget cam. But no, in all seriousness, I did actually add this during the show. I've got the average caricature of the average 41-year-old wrestling fan. Hey, dude, suck it. He dudes. Anyway, but yeah. So this is how they decided it. I've done this joke a million times, but it doesn't get old in my mind, even though it gets old in everyone else's. Oh, we need to call this show something like Vengeance Day, but not so lame. Happy Vengeance Day, everybody! Yeah, I was so pleased with myself. But yeah, so it's going to be a fun time. And even if it's not a fun time, I'm just going to be sat there anyway.
What time are you starting it? What time are you starting it tonight, Tom?
I'm going to aim to start at 10:30 in the UK, just to settle in. But I believe the show is starting at 11 over on Netflix and the Peacock Network for anyone in America. So yeah, that'll be a fun time, as I always have a fun time with these gentlemen. Even the ones that, like Gary and Spencer, who are constantly firing hate crimes at me. But
I have never.
Breaks, isn't it? Yeah, so the breaks, I'm afraid. So, but I do want to say, obviously, thank you to everyone that actually has put in effort today with your comments and stuff like that. But even turning up is effort, I suppose it is. Like that didn't come out of a minute, but against thanks. For example, Rosie with football scores, which, in my opinion, were wrote correctly and in order that actually made sense. So, thank you for that. Beats Gunner with his Beats Gunnerness. That's all I can call it, Beats Gunnerness. And you all know what I'm talking about. Pure Beats Gunnerness. Mr. Qatari doing Mr. Qatari things. And yeah, basically, by the time I finish doing this, we're actually going to... I'll be starting up my watch-along soon by the time I finish thanking everyone for it. But seriously, thank you all for supporting Gary, who gives his time to do this, because there was a time when Gary would have just been starting the show right now. Because this show used to start, if I remember rightly, at about 4 or 5 o'clock. But then Gary saw the light, as Rosie has typed out, and basically was like, no, it'd actually be a lot better if we actually did do it during the football.
Yep.
I am right sometimes.
Yep. No, this has been good. I enjoy this. There's football all around us, right? Football all around us. But everybody, thank you again for joining us. As Mr. Tom said, thank you. Ms. Sam said, thank you. We will do this again next week. As I said, the cat is away, so the mice might play, or the rats. I don't think they're mice. They are rats. They are rats. The rats will play. And I don't know what's in store for you guys, but I know it will be fun, and I will be disgusted by it.
Wizard Tom might appear.
Very likely.
What the hell is Wizard Tom? How's that become a thing? I mean,
you know what? You're a wizard. What does he say? You're a wizard rat, bitch? I don't know what you said. But,
I'm a bullshit wizard.
Oh, there you go. But we'll do this again next week, same time, same bat channel. Check out the show tonight. Check out Mr. Tom tomorrow. Check out the trip on Monday. We'll be chatting a little bit about Arsenal and then getting prepared for our weekend's match against West Ham. And the West Ham match is actually at the same time as the show, so we'll see if Sam will join us, maybe undercover, and still give you guys some of his expert tutelage on Arsenal and how they're playing live.
It's going to be a Sam along.
It might be a Sam along. So there you go. Check it out if that could happen, if that works out. But we'll do this again next week. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe, and all of that. And we'll do this thing again, everybody. Thank you again. And let me try and figure out if I can find a button. My screen keeps going blank. But let's get out of here. Oh, come on. There we go. Come on.
Your footage has been fine all day for me personally.
On my side, it just goes blank. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait. And then every time it goes blank, I hear a doo-doo. You know, as it realizes that it lost something, but we're out. Everybody, see it. Oh, come on. All right, here we go. Ay, ay, ay.
Life is a journey. Don't waste your trip.
Cool.